Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting our community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. Lastly, if you are interested in joining any of our games, we currently have 3 open slots available in the Tuesday early campaign we're trying to fill up. And we have 1 slot available in the Daddy Issues Sunday early campaign. If you're interested in either of those, be sure to reach out to me, let me know. And if you're interested in just joining our community, you can do that through our Patreon, which is listed down in the description below. Now, without further ado, Cornwallis, tell us what happened last session.
So, since Bart was recovering from his rebirth, whatever you want to call whatever he decided to volunteer for, and Reese was off doing studying or something, the rest of us spent a bunch of time in the library trying to see if we could find an answer for what Reese needed of finding help in hell for his upcoming trial. So we decided to split it up, and we split between, we actually researched Jubilix more for Bart, but we also researched Luciphon, Leviticus, and Michael, Luciphon's brother. Got very deep into all of them for the most part. I'm not going to go through all of it because I can't do justice to Joey's lore dump that he did for the first 2 hours of the session last week.
It was only an hour.
It was still, no, I told you, it was good lore dump. That's why I'm not going to repeat it, because if you want the lore dump, you go back and watch the episode. Because Joey did a better job of it than I ever would. So we finally decide we think Luciphon's probably Reese's bet. Partially because Michael is dead at Luciphon's hands. So that cut him out. So we dig any deeper into him. We find out some information about that he was raised by an elf named Clara, who had sold her soul to Asmodeus in exchange for saving her tiefling child. And that was the only person Luciphon really seemed to care about. We got a bunch of history about the adventuring group he joined after he got tossed out of hell for accusing his brother of cheating in a duel, but not providing enough proof to justify the accusation. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. So we learn about his adventuring life. We learn about the woman he married, who he loved, but didn't really love him in return. Their daughter, Clara, and her eventual death at the hands of some cultists, and his wife's eventual, basically, violent breakdown in response to that. Following that, Luciphon returned to hell, killing his brother, and was promoted to the rank of Lord and given charge of Phlegoth? I'm probably not saying that right.
Phlegothos,
the 4th level of hell. We dig up how to contact him, and with Reese and Bart still out of commission, we decide to head there and see if we can make first contacts. And so we head to there. We managed to get entry. We offer him the sword that we were carrying, which we believe through our research was actually originally his sword that he used when he fought his original duel with his brother, Michael. We offer that. We talk about what's going on. We give him a gift that Tawahaj sent for him. And then after a bunch of discussion about Luciphon wondering whether Reese deserved his loyalty in exchange for his own loyalty, and some debatable answers from some of us, mostly Cornwallis, who wasn't 100% on Reese's loyalty. The others seem to be. A Baelor approaches, was sent from Asmodeus himself, and demands that we all be handed over. Lucifer refuses to hand us over, and the threats that the Baelor made towards Lucifer for not handing us over actually seemed like the biggest thing that won Lucifer over to our side. I think mostly out of spite of his father. And we attended dinner with Lucifer, where we sat at his table and found that he actually sits with demons of any, or devils of any rank in his army at any time, and seems to really have the heart of his entire army for him. And that's where we ended.
So, let's pan back to the other two that got left behind during this journey. Now, Bard is going through a very excruciating transformation. So Monkey decided to stay behind to look after him, make sure he's okay until everything calms down about him and you can leave him securely by himself. Reese, you stayed behind because you were conducting research on the artifacts mentioned in Monkey's unknown but recently told backstory.
Yes.
So, you are conducting this research. Reese, I need you to type out literally everything you know about this artifact. So I know what your baseline of your research is. Because obviously there's been information you guys have not learned, and I want to make sure I start you off at the right place.
So it's like, I know that that's essentially what I know at the moment, right? It's very vague, and I know that it wasn't just an artifact that he said. He just gave me everything around that line for book-wise.
Okay. So you don't know where it is, where Monkey originally came from, or anything like that?
No, I know where Monkey's from.
Yeah?
Right, I know...
Where's
I have
that?
to look at my notes. I don't remember. It's been 2 weeks. From wherever the gods are, right? His family. That he went in to the mortals and was essentially giving them a way to extend their lives. And that was a no. But I'm looking for anything regarding that type of artifact. Something that can take power from an entity and move it to another entity, either take or willingly. Right.
Okay. I need you to roll
vague.
an investigation.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you don't have anybody to inspire you like everybody else had.
Okay, can I do enhance ability for this?
You absolutely can.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
And keep in mind, you are going to be making multiple checks as you discover certain things and you choose specific avenues to start angling down.
Sweet. What is it? You said investigation?
Yes.
I missed guidance. 23.
23. Well, you used enhanced ability. Guidance wouldn't work. They're both concentration.
Yeah, you're right.
23. And me. So, Reese. Oh, I forgot I wasn't displaying the map yet. Hold on a second. Boop, that. And the rolls. Because that's what people like to see, what the rolls are. Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. So, you start researching artifacts that take power or life from one creature to give to another.
Yeah.
And during your research, you go back through the history of Komortar. Tawahaj has so much information on that. Before you realize that wherever this was, it was not Komortar. And by the sounds of it, this happened... you're an expert in Arcana, right?
Yes.
This happened before the veil was put up. Something of that magnitude of power to even be created, a veil could not be up to filter magic through it. So this had to have happened before then. So then you start tracking your attention towards older generations and older planes of existences. Realizing that the heavens would not have this many mages working on something like that.
Yeah.
And then you discover the world in which, well, there's a little something on it. There's a realm that is referred to as EXANDRIA. Now, in character, you know absolutely nothing about this world. You've never been there. You've never heard of it. No, you heard about it one time.
Yeah, there was that tiefling dude that was at the Asmodeus church saying that he went over there and he got jacked up.
Yep, and people from Exandria saved him.
Yeah.
So, there's this one story in Exandria about these mages that had tricked a very powerful avatar to a god of death into becoming a power source for an artifact. And they were using this angel, this avatar, to that god of death in order to start producing more young mages. Mages that were able to sacrifice years of their life, their own vitality, in order to empower and invigorate their spells. It honestly sounds like a very terrifying era for that world. But because they had this power source, they could simply drain the energy from this angel and put it into them anew. So, it was a devastating time. But Exandria is the plane from whence this thing came from, and by the sounds of it, is a very big plane.
So Monkey essentially left this artifact out in Exandria?
Possibly.
Huh. Cool.
Now, what next would you like to focus your research on?
I mean, that was like the main one. The other one was Lilith, was the second one.
Okay, so you're done researching the artifact?
Now, I would like to research more if there's any kind of artifact like that in our plane.
No, you came to the realization there's nothing like that in your plane of existence.
Okay.
You're fairly certain your plane is not older than the Veil.
I hate to interject, but Christian joined and fucked up everything.
Oh yeah, I swapped over to 6 players. Hi. Display name Christian. But yes, you're very certain that it does not exist on your plane.
Okay. What about an artifact that can steal a god's power? In that sense.
On your plane?
Yeah.
Now, you're using the word steal. That is your focus and intention, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you can go ahead and roll another investigation roll. At this point, you'll need to use the spell again.
Okay, I'll do it again.
Yeah.
I'm full up right now, so I'm not
Yep.
too worried. I'm gonna use a lucky for that. I need a good one. And... 13. Not
13.
looking good.
Nothing like that, no.
Damn.
Nah. You're pretty sure on Komortar and the plane that you are on, there's nothing like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
I got nothing on that. That was like the big thing I was looking for.
Yeah, a cheat code to end Asmodeus, I get it.
Still power.
Yeah.
It's more of a bargaining chip, but yeah.
All right. So you have one more research that you can do. You can keep going down the avenue you're going, or you can deviate to something else, or you can just do whatever.
I'd like to research artifacts like that spear that Bardakov has.
Okay. Go ahead. Investigation. Third spell slot if you want that advantage.
Sweet.
That's
22.
a lot. We love 22. Okay. Time for me to go back over to the Komortar map. So. I believe this one over here.
So if I recall, they've killed devas with that before, right? Not gods?
That is correct.
Okay.
So, during your research, you discover that there is a series of 3 artifact level spears in Komortar. These spears, during the less educated and less explored era of Komortar, were originally crafted in order to ensure that mortals would always have a fighting chance against gods. Since during that time, not all gods were known as good, not all gods were known as evil. It was just some of them wanted good things, some of them wanted bad things. Even during that era, you would know that Asmodeus had little claim to actual politics and was mostly on corruption. Not that what Asmodeus does is good by any stretch of any imagination, but there's a difference between heinous evil and necessary evil. So these 3 legendary spears. One, guys, I believe you could correct me if need be, was harbored within a region that is now called Frostkey Ruins. That's the one you guys got, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
The first one? Where
With the weird ice vampires.
Yes. Where a very ancient and powerful druid was said to have vanquished a ancient elemental from this coil utilizing the spear, but unfortunately had to stay put inside of that region in order to keep it safe and grounded. A second one... Oh, I didn't move over to the page. A second one was within the Nesfarseat Mountains, where a different druid of the same order seemed to have to utilize that in a similar manner. It seemed to be a very common theme within this realm. And the third one is rumored to belong within a forest that is so incredibly protected by natural natures that nobody questions its safety or viability. And in fact, is one of the only unexplored locations within Komortar by the recent settlers of this continent.
Joey, which one was the one that had the black feather on it? That, what was his name? I'm trying to think of the character's name. Fen. Was that from the first location or second location?
That was the Frost Key one.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just was making sure.
Yeah. So apparently there's 3 of these spears. And you know Bart has 1. I believe you guys you went with him and got it, right? From the Nesfarseat Mountains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his buildings own that mountain.
Yes. I think we got rid of the black feather one.
You have no idea what happened to it. It seemingly disappeared after you vanquished the diva.
Silk.
Silk, thank you.
And those are the only 3 artifacts that are similar to something like that?
Those are the only 3 artifacts that are powerful enough to, even with all of the magic they have guaranteed kill any creature it vanquishes, regardless of what plane of existence they are on. The key to it is it doesn't necessarily one-shot anything that's of legendary proportion, but if any of those
Fucks it up.
spears are the things that kill a creature, no matter where it is dead. It no longer exists.
Okay. And then from what I know from just living, what are like the main areas that are unexplored as I pull out the map?
Roll me a survival check. You're trying to figure it out as somebody who cares 99% about what areas are explored and civilized.
No, that makes sense. It checks.
What places do I not give a fuck about?
26.
Okay.
Not to 20.
One would have been that forest and swampland that had the ancient tree inside of it that you guys already explored near. And another one that prides itself on being that would be Shinrin's Rest.
Okay. Shinrin's Rest? Oh, I saw you ping up here for a second.
Oh, it's over here. Wait, is that
Oh.
not pinging? There we go.
There it goes.
Yeah. And Shinrin's Rest is everything in this forest altogether.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
But yeah, there's just a bunch of like dirty hippies that live off the land who live out there. They do basic
Nice.
trading sometimes with low falls, but that's it. Low falls is the closest civilization to them. And that's
Does that
like,
incorporate also the area that I've circled?
what did you say? Yes, that is a part of that same forest.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the tip.
Just the
Just a
tip.
tip.
Yeah, I was waiting.
You know, if it wasn't muted,
Alrighty. So, that is all of your research conducted. You go meet back up with Monkey, who's sitting with Tawahaj and looking at Bart. And Bart, you're starting to feel a lot different, but healthier after several hours of pretty agonizing burns.
Yeah, that shit sucked. But I'm less physically disfigured, if very different looking.
Would you like to describe what you now look like?
Hell yeah. So,
Bruh.
structure-wise, like facial structure, body, like mass, he is pretty much as he was. He looks a little more filled out because he's not got the like desiccated scar tissue down one side anymore. But his skin has gone from a very, winter climate pale to a full blushed pink, and the obvious change is his hair is fiery red and seems to have its own animus to it. He does not quite have a head of flames, but his ember colored hair is wafting of its own accord as if it were flickering fire, and he does seem to have the sort of pulses of heat that come up his torso and off of his shoulders when he's exhibiting strong emotion.
So, as you now crawl your way out of bed, as tired from that reincarnation as you can possibly be, Tawahaj will look over at you. Well, I have to say my craftsmanship is, well, as I would expect it to be. Would you mind, though? He takes a piece of paper and little pen. How would you rate the journey to get to this desired physique?
He's doing an AAR on his resurrection. I love it.
How would you rate your experience from 1 to agonizing?
Yeah.
Sustainments, improvements, whatever you need.
End result, solid 8 out of 10. aside from being physically more powerful than I used to be, I couldn't have asked for anything better.
And the
Transitional
process.
0 out of 10, please never make me experience that again in my life.
Well, then don't ask me. All right. What could I have done to make the experience better for you?
Do it whilst I was asleep, or just knock me out first.
I thought it was perfect.
Snap the neck first, then reincarnate. That is
That would be
probably
better.
why they recommended I only reincarnate living creatures. Fascinating. Or dead creatures. That's what I always mix the two up.
It would have been preferable if I was already dead first, but it worked.
But
And you have my eternal gratitude.
unfortunately,
offer
you
you
are
my
a
soul,
unique
but-
case. We could not kill you.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't have gone well. Like I say, I would offer you my eternal soul, but that is spoken for in several ways.
Oh, it's fine. I own your body.
Shit, you do. Try not to abuse that, please.
You know what's weird? This new form that you have, Bart, right? I feel like I just don't have that grudge against you anymore. It's kind of weird. Like it disappeared with that.
Did you have a... You didn't like elves, did you?
I'm literally an elf.
Then
No, like
what?
the whole scolding, taking my vengeance situation.
Oh,
Right. It feels like it kind of burned away with your body. It's kind of weird.
well, good. Just don't... yeah, if you converse with Kat at any point, don't tell her I want it to be a surprise.
Well, I, for one, am very excited that this actually worked. My first time doing it.
Wait, there was a chance it wouldn't?
I mean, there's always a chance. It's an experiment. I mean, I've never melded a willing soul into a new carcass that I constructed of flame and fire. Usually, I just... He gestures at many of the elementals. Let the souls kindle into natural flames.
That's fair.
It was pretty great
Was
to watch.
that an option? Could I have been a Myrmidon?
Well, yeah.
Fuck.
Considering
Oh well.
you're known for your physical assets, Bardakov, I don't know if that would have been the smart move. Can't have physical
It's fair.
assets as a Myrmidon.
Hey, Glenn.
It's true.
First time seeing you without a hat, man. Nice.
Oh shit!
You got
Yeah.
the face frame going on?
My hair was finally long enough to tie it all back. So
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah, brother.
He's becoming more of an anime character by the day.
Yeah,
I'm
I-
trying, man. I'm trying.
Wow. Anyways.
I say that. I had an entire week where I had a scar over one eye. I essentially got
Cat
like
scratch.
No. I cut my corner on getting out of a friend's car. I cut my face on the corner of a friend's car door. So I just had it over my right eye, just going from the middle of my temple, or not temple, the middle of my forehead, to just below the right eye.
See, knowing
walked
you, I
into
would
his
have just
house.
assumed it was a cat that just cut you across the eye, and you went, "It's okay."
I had a dog do that.
Yeah.
And
There's
he
a
was just
Polish
like, not just a
rapper
man.
who literally had the anime scar carved into his face.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
That's weeb.
I mean, I think it was just he has many other scarification procedures. I don't think it was anime related. He
That
just
is
wanted a big
uwu as
fuck off
fuck.
eye scar.
Dog with a switchblade cutting him. Yeah. Anyways, Monkey,
Yes.
Bart, and Reese. Reese, you've conducted all of your research. Bart,
Yes.
you are reshaped and reformed. However, please keep in mind you are under the limitations of the reincarnate spell.
Oh, my stats down for a bit.
For a bit, yeah.
Yeah. Did I get any chance to do my research into Jublex, or was I out for the count?
You were in excruciating pain, but one of the other party members did a little bit of research on that. Oh, no. Reincarnate... What? Resurrection is the one where it...
Yes.
Yeah.
Raised
Yeah,
dead.
reincarnate is technically the one where you can potentially change race in the process, but resurrection is what you described, I think.
Yeah, so raised dead, it's a -5 to stats. Resurrection, it should be a level of exhaustion on the caster, is what it is. And then true resurrection, it's nothing.
I was taking care of you, Bart, while you were down.
I'm not sure I want to know
The
what that
target
means.
takes a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. Every time the target finishes a long rest, the penalty is reduced by 1 until it disappears.
Oh.
That's resurrection. You're getting used
Oh.
to the new body, you know?
Yeah.
Raised dead has it too. That's crazy.
Nice.
It just means I was like your nurse there, Bart. I was just...
Please don't put Monkey in a nurse hat.
No, he's not going to. He just...
I'm imagining it's a nurse hat on top of like the
The cowboy.
Yeah, exactly.
Just making sure he had some liquid food and water and cleaning your wounds.
But yes, Samdi did do a lot of that research. Monkey and Reese are the ones that are aware now, since you're coming back too, that the other 4, Samdi, Cornwallis, Glenn, and what's their name? Genesis. Had decided to go parlay with Luciphon on Reese's behalf to at least get a feel for the field of like, well, he might be a possibility to help, so fucking check off all the lists, right?
Cool. How'd that go?
Oh.
Pretty well.
Well,
good.
you guys are. It's
Yeah, we're away.
Samdi, your telepathy does not work across planes yet.
I
They're
can sense
still
some
gone.
things.
So Bart, the other 4 will be back soon. They've gone to talk to Luciphon.
Ooh. Well, I'm glad. It's a shame I couldn't have gone for that. I do like the Hells. It's interesting. Not sure I'd pick it as a summer home, but I'm glad we get to do a little more investigation in there.
Yeah, it's probably good you weren't there in the condition you're in, but glad to see your improvement.
I feel a lot better. Not
I'll
sure
change
how.
it. Go ahead.
Not sure how those back home are going to react to the new form, but yeah. If nothing else, it might give. Best case scenario, it gives me a bit of a fresh start with some people. Allows me to go unnoticed.
It does. Considering you went to jail in Spalding, right, for that that botched assassination.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I was pardoned for that crime once we, ousted the Spaldings and I ate them.
it happened after you ousted the Spaldings.
Yeah, I cashed in a get out of jail free card. It's fine.
A letter literally showed up at my
Warlocks.
doorstep.
Warlocks. Just
I'm just like, a letter literally showed up at my doorstep. Technically, I think Cat got you out.
So, what are you guys
I
doing?
posted a small bit in Discord, Bart, that one thing that pulled out to me when they researched Tubelix about how he built his home by convincing some prince to bring his entire presence into his kingdom, sacrificing every member of his kingdom to fight a blue dragon. That was the biggest thing that I think was a revelation that Glenn and Somebody found.
Interesting. Not sure how we'll be able to put that to use, but I'll add it to the list.
So, what are you guys doing? The other group has been away for a few hours now, and you guys are finally in at least functioning enough order to, do things.
I tell Bardakov, right, about the spears. How there's a third one. Well, first I tell you guys about all three, right? And I remember you guys mentioning one. So one of these are ones you've had before. And I explain that it's literally a spear that is known to kill what it kills. That makes sense, like permanently.
Yeah, Bart's got one, and then we had run across another one that Fenn, druid friend of ours, had, and that one had like a black feather on it or something like that. I don't recall what happened with it. I think it disappeared.
So
after
what
we
you're
slayed
telling
something.
me is I could have a spare.
Yes. The third one is somewhere where nature is always protecting it, which I can only theorize it's either summer and rest or back at the creek. That's the only places I can think of that would fit that description.
I mean, unless it's hidden somewhere very, very secluded, I think we hit all of the major spots in the swampland.
Who knows? Maybe the trees wrapped around it. They seem to all have been focuses for druids, so, you know.
It's not a bad point, actually. Could always burn the tree down and pick through the ashes.
It's a thought. But the other research was kind of on the fruitless side, but it was the artifact that Monkey had mentioned. There's a possibility that your artifact is long gone. The one that you gave to the mortals. Possible. It's something that might have existed before the veil came.
That's unfortunate. All you found out is that it might be gone.
Yeah,
No
it
other-
means
How
that you
old
might be an
are you,
older
Monkey?
god.
One
Yeah,
second.
that's what I
Monkey was
thinking,
speaking,
too.
guys. What were we saying?
So, no other, just that it was gone. Any indication of where it was last seen, or?
There's an artifact similar to the description in Exandria. That other place.
That might be interesting. Because you know how sometimes with legends things kind of change and drift and stuff like that. So
Just
it's kind
similar
of like
artifact.
Yeah, so it
Wisdom.
might be the same.
Sorry, wisdom saving throw, Monkey.
Yep. Do I want to save or no?
Yes.
Question. Okay. Wisdom save.
It's alright.
I will.
All right, you're next to me.
Oh yeah, I am. Yes. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just blow my game advantage now. Why not? Sometimes it's good to just blow it. 23.
Oh my.
23.
+5.
That's fine.
Oh, 28. Sorry, you're right.
Ooh, that'll actually hit it then. Good shit. 23 was a failure, by the way. Monkey. Exandria. You think about your vision that you had recently with all of your siblings, fellow gods. One of them was missing. Your sister Exandria.
Wait a minute. You said Exandria, right?
That's that other plan. I mean, you were there. You weren't there. You were outside peddling the people and doing weird sticks. One of my Asmodeus contacts, a rogue of some sort, he ran into a set of adventurers from Exandria before.
I've got a sister. You said sister, right, Joy?
Yes.
I've got a sister by the name of Exandria. But she wasn't in my... I don't know, this is something to look into.
Possibly.
You know, Exandria could be named after her, or maybe she's named after Exandria, or something, but that's kind of coincidental.
You might be an old god, so it's possible that the plane's named after your sister. Who knows? If you were born before the veil, you know.
I don't know when I was born. I hadn't really... I mean, I remember coming down the birth canal, but Then I'm
So,
like breaking out of a gem.
so unlocking that knowledge does make you suffer 34 points of psychic damage, though.
I think I need to sit down.
Yeah, you bleed from your nose randomly. You okay?
Yeah, just my head kind of hurts a little bit. So that puts me at 96.
Oh, so close.
Yep. I'm kind of feeling a little dyslexic in the head. I feel like it should be flipped.
Yeah, but-
Anything else? What do you know about this Exandria? The place
Next
or
to-
person?
Next to nothing. I just know that we had an Asmodeus person ran into a group of adventurers that had shifted planes over here. So that's as much as that went from. I forgot his name. I have to look at my old contacts. But that's it. I've had no interest in other planes besides this plane. So
Well, it's good you have one now.
yeah, hell. I have a very huge interest in hell.
Yeah, and Exandria. So, Bart, can I get you some more tea or anything? Maybe some juice, something?
Yeah. Some hot tea would be lovely, actually.
All right. Now I'm gonna get up and go make Bart some tea.
So, as you walk out to go make the tea, Tawahaj sits there for a moment. Ah, Exandria. Yes, I believe we have a portal there, somewhere within the plane of fire. But there's these backwater druidic hippie folk that murder all of us for trying to take over their plane.
Huh. You didn't just become your charming self to.
Well, it's not in my district.
That's
It's
interesting.
fine. I hear Exandria is a cursed place.
I wouldn't even know where to search for this artifact or start searching for this artifact if it were there.
Based off of what I've heard, these damn dirty hippies just destroy everything indiscriminately that's not from their own plane, so probably very ignorant people.
Sounds about right.
And anybody who knows.
I mean, I've never met a druid before, so outside of that one ranger guy.
Yeah, Monkey, you leave. You get a nice cup of spiced chai tea. All of the tea here is spiced or chai. There's nothing else that Tawahaj has inside of his glorious estate.
I offer
fair.
him coffee. I have coffee too if you need some.
Would you like spiced coffee?
Would you like some of this coffee?
No.
I tried. I wouldn't mind.
I take the spiced chai and they
There
said
you
like, well, I definitely have a newfound enjoyment for human.
I was wondering if your transformative thing would affect your senses like taste. Do things still look the same to you, sound the same, taste the same, smell the same?
Look and sound, yes. Smell, feel like I can discern more depth in smoke smells, maybe. Like I can actually parse out the different, like, sulfur, brimstone, ash, that kind of thing, but I might just be convincing myself of that. Taste seems fine. I just seem to enjoy the spiced tea more.
It's a placebo effect. You think you sense it, but
Yeah.
it's not actually there. I don't know the biology of whatever you became. Like Gensai, right? That's how
Genasi, yeah.
Genasi. Oh, jeez.
Sorry,
Gensai.
Elven accent.
Yes, I'm an elf. I went from being a half elf to a Gensai.
Yeah, Elder Naxon. It happens. Genasi. I don't know the genealogy of a Genasi, unfortunately. So
We're playing Caverns and Trolls.
Yeah. I mean, my understanding of it is it's basically like a tiefling, but your great-granddaddy fucked an elemental rather than a devil.
Which, in my experience, is way more enjoyable.
I feel like I would still need my armor for that.
Well, elementals
Yeah.
aren't necessarily as sadistic. We can be. I mean, look at
Darker
me.
stays on
I'm
during sex.
incredibly well restrained. Always
respect
use
that.
protection. Armor on. The armor
armor
stays,
stays
on.
I'm just gonna let that one go. I don't feel it's worth the argument.
We need to find socks that do the same thing as your armor.
Socks of fire resistance.
I'm a Genasi. I already have.
A
fire.
bard somewhere made it. A bard somewhere made it.
It's
I
weird,
have the
it's
variety
just-
pack. Just
But it's weird. They only
Cold,
have one of
hot.
each sock, and they're weirdly stretchy.
Anyways, let's ask the other party. Hey, other party, it's been like several hours and you haven't heard from those other three that you left with Tawahaj.
Zamdi, you want to? Sorry to introduce. I don't mean to interrupt our meal, but Zamdi, do you mind sending them a message? See what's going on. You know, doing that sending thing you do.
Sure, they're fine.
I'm
I think
assuming they're all just
coincidentally,
dead.
I think coincidentally, I send a sending to Glenn right when he says that.
Holy fuck, finally. Okay, roll a d20, see if it makes it there.
Okay.
It fails and you get like a minor brrr in the back of your brain.
What? Alright, what's this sending?
Hello, Glenn. This is Rasan. Checking on how the status is. Let me know. Bart is awake. If you need assistance, let me know soon.
Man, your setting's really slow. We're in Lucifan's palace. Come over to Phlegethos. That's it.
I look over. They're at Lucifan's palace in Plagueis' issue, as none of us can plane shift.
I think I would be smart enough to realize that they don't have plane shift.
I hope.
So, Zamdi, you mind doing like a little taxi service back and forth?
Has it been a day since we came here?
Nope.
It's not even been 8 hours. I'm gonna look at Glenn. Yeah, not today.
Not today.
I am, unfortunately, out of that spells.
Okay. So I guess we I mean, if you can send a sending to them and let them know that we're gonna need like a day or two to taxi over. I guess, you know, so we can meet up with Lucifon and get their stuff
I'll
straightened out.
attempt to send a sending to Reese.
Oh shit. I'm just kidding.
Yep, it gets there. It's only
And-
a 5% chance to fail.
No, but it's still a roll.
Yeah. No, he said dang. I was like,
I said dang.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sending to Reese. Give me a fucking minute. I can't cast this more than once a day.
Man, what's taking them so long?
I don't know. We should be able to catch a Somdi over there.
So Sabdi doesn't have the magical capacity to transport us today. He used his magical capacity to transport over there today.
Yeah, figures.
Oh shit! I just got a message from somebody. Noted. That's it.
And
I imagine that sendings just stay open until you hit the 25 words, so
Yeah.
they hear everything you say for the next 20 words.
That's how I always figured it too. So how would a
Doo-wop,
message
doo-wop, doo-dot. Scat is just somebody with sending who doesn't want people to hear their conversations.
that's not a bad idea. Man,
So-
I'm so fed up of traveling with second-rate spellcasters. I miss Cat.
I
Cat
agree.
had the ability to transport between planes though.
She probably did. She's quite powerful.
she was very powerful.
She didn't always share everything she
To
could
be
do
fair,
with
she
us.
hasn't been leveling while we've been doing
Guys,
She's
let's put in
been
the
doing
extra effort not
mercy.
to interrupt people while they're speaking. Go ahead, Monkey.
I was just saying, she's quite powerful. And she didn't show us everything, but she can probably do it.
Probably. I look at Talahaj. Would you be able to send us to hell to plague this? Remember you saying you've had dealings with Lucifon before.
Yes, and the one object I had from his lair on Hell, I gave to some D.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to go right now, do we? We can still enjoy your company, unless you need us to leave right now. But
Oh no, all of you are perfectly cozy and safe here. You could always ask Lucifon to banish them, of course.
I think we can just stay here and wait a little bit and
Very well.
enjoy it.
I don't think there's any pressing need for us to rush them back.
I agree.
I could do with some time to exercise, get used to this new body.
And I'm pretty sure Monkey has some research of his own he would like to do, right?
Somewhat. I'm sorry.
Have
You sound
have
like a
messed around
cackling
with
lady.
books?
Sorry. I have not done so a lot because I've been doing a lot of pondering on things lately. And if we can just, I would like to talk to Genesis when she gets back, though.
They
They get back. I caught my tongue. When they get back, and I have trouble with gender. I always talk all insomnia. They too. But let's just relax until we. How often can you guys communicate with them?
From a number of 1 to 10, I think 10 more times.
Alright. We can save it.
I'm probably gonna send them another one regardless. So, is there anything you want me to tell them?
No, it's just nice it's not going on in my head.
I mean,
It
we
is
have
nice
a-
when he's not on the same plane as us, isn't it? My head feels less crowded. Less like there's somebody watching behind my own eyes.
I mean, there's no telepaths here. We're fine.
Get myself a ring of mind shielding.
Yes, of course. There's nobody reading your minds here.
No, not at all. And in Bart's head, he hears none at all.
And then in Bart's head, you hear none at all.
Is there an echo in here?
I choose to believe that Talahaj picked up that skill after realizing how useful it is for
Oh
me.
yeah. He saw Reese had it. Was like, oh.
Oh, to be an elder elemental who can just like, I should learn to be a telepath.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Just spend a weekend reading some books, some self-help guides. Like,
that's how they do
yeah, there you go, got it.
it.
Makes sense.
Anyways,
Is there anything you need me to send them? I'm gonna tell them the idea, the lovely idea of Talahaj about the banishment. Is there anything you want me to ask them?
tell them I say hi.
Yeah.
Noted.
Let Genesis know that we look forward to them getting back. And Cornwallis, too.
Noted. I send another sending. That one level 3 spell left. See if Lucifon can banish you.
D20 first.
Oh shoot, yeah, you're right.
One.
17. I am the one that would roll that one, by the way.
Of course, that's why I'm making sure you roll
Yeah.
before you send it
Uh,
out and just get.
It's like just white noise. If possible, see if Lucifon can banish you. Tal'Dorei says to say hi on his behalf.
Don't forget Genesis and Cornwallis. I'm saying hi to them, too, so make sure
Genesis and Cornwallis, Monkey would like to talk. That's all I got.
you didn't say anything to Glenn? Yeah, of course, your brother Jack's
That's-
some,
That's who
just
I
not
sent.
on my- Okay, good.
Yeah, I only sent to Glenn. Somebody has a thing that stops me from going to his mind. I never know when it's consensual or not.
Call waiting. No. Just-
Yeah. You can just ignore.
I just wait for the ringtone to end, so they think I'm not there.
He picks up after the last ringtone. Hello? Oh, well, it was he hung up. Oh, well, you know.
He must have died. Oh well. But yeah, go.
In canon with how we're discussing sending, Glenn will just say, all right, got it. I'll make sure to tell everybody, and you'll start actually hearing him talk. So Monkey says hi to you and Genesis and you Cornwallis. Hey, Lucifon, are you able to wait a minute? If they banish us, don't we actually just go back to our regular plane? Wait, Lucifon, are you capable of banishing us by any chance?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 then. If we get banished, don't we just go back to our regular planes? So that kind of means we don't meet up with them.
That is correct. To the location you were last at on your previous plane.
Okay, so I guess then technically that would work then, right? Well, that would take us back to the elemental plane. So if the last plane we were at was the elemental plane
No.
of fire,
Your home plane, the last place you were at.
The portal.
You were at the portal in the mountains.
Yeah.
On
can
your home
banish-
plane.
I could banish Somdi, but if I banish him, like he says, he's just gonna end up at the portal right outside, and then he's gonna have to walk through the plane of fire to get back to Tal'Dorei's palace.
Also, Glenn, Cornwallis, they're both from different planes of existences.
Yeah, I can banish Somdi. Oh yeah, I'm not even from that plane.
you go like the astral sea, don't you?
Oh. Just shit.
We'll find out.
But I can also plane shift you away.
Ah,
So long as you have something from the plane of fire.
do we have something from the plane of fire, guys?
Doesn't it have to be magical?
Yes. Or a tunum fork.
So fond memories don't count.
Unless you can magically produce said memory.
Like, put memory into a physical aspect?
Like
Yes.
manifest it?
Yes.
Joey, side note real quick. What is that spell where you can do the streams? Would that work in your world?
It would work because that is a magical object of
Okay.
a memory.
I think we did that once in another campaign a
Well,
long time ago.
So I'll answer it this way. It would either bring you to where that memory is from or to the plane of dreams.
It's in
Been
code
there once
thoughts.
before.
Is the
Not a
spell
nice
you're
place.
talking of?
Oops, sorry. Been there once before. Not a nice place.
It's lovely.
Yeah, Sandy will just say, don't know if we have anything specifically magical from there. I am confident I could make my way back to Tal'Dorei if I were to be banished back outside of the plane of fire.
Very well. Then I shall do that if you desire.
We're gonna just plane ship back to where then?
Just to clarify, none of you have any magical object or something especially attuned to the plane of fire. None of you.
I'm sure one of you guys do.
I barely have one from the plane of Komortar.
Samdi has an arm.
I mean,
Does
my
that
armor,
count?
my
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
That is a
Your turn,
marking of
sir.
Tawahaj.
All right, fine. I didn't know my burnt to shit arm counted as a magically attuned item.
That makes sense since he popped out of it.
All right. Am I going to implode in on myself as I hold out my arm? This is attuned to Tawahaj himself.
That'll work perfectly fine. Do your arms grow back?
I don't think so.
Well, let's hope it's not that painful then.
Oh no.
I think we mostly just need to get Samdi to them so that Samdi can grab everyone and bring them here.
Yeah, this is why they're sending me.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, he
don't-
can send any number if
Oh,
it's
he's
plane
plane
shift.
shifting us, yeah. So. Ah. All right, everyone, get in.
I mean, if you guys are just gonna go back here, you know, I forget it. Just go.
You're welcome to stay here. I already granted you permission.
Yeah, you know, I can just, you know, stay here, do some sit-ups, push-ups, drink plenty of juice, and just wait for you guys to come back.
Perhaps you can duel some of my generals.
Yeah, I'd like to get another workout. How about you, Genesis? You down?
I mean, yeah, if that's an option. Yeah.
Cornwallis.
Since Samdi has to cross the plate of fire, I'll go with Samdi so he's not going by himself. Not that Samdi can't take care of himself, he can, but...
Oh, we're not crossing. I think we're going straight to Tal'Dorei.
Oh, either way. Oh, yeah. No, I'll still go with you, just so you're not... Just
In case
you
something
don't
goes
pop
horribly,
up.
horribly
Yeah, in case
wrong.
you don't pop up exactly in Tawahaj's palace or something, or you pop out and it's in one of the lava pools in his front yard or something.
Oh, then we're both dead.
Well, you can survive a few fleeting moments inside of lava. Anyways, he reaches backwards and you hear this shing from upstairs as one of the blades go flying down into his hand. And this blade has like a thin blue line that cuts all the way from the pommel all the way to the tip of this very long gladius. And then he takes it, cuts your arm, Samdi, and as that happens, this whirling vortex opens up beneath the two of you as you're both plane shifted away. And
Got the blender dimension.
yes. And this is where we're going to go ahead and go on break, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pulling Teeth with a Dungeon Master. Where last we left off, the party is still separated, and Samdi, as well as Cornwallis, were plane shifted back over to the elemental plane of fire, where you are standing outside of Tawahaj's refined estate, and then venture your way on inside. So, the two of you walk into the estate, and you have a couple of various elementals escort you up to the quarters where Bart is beginning to stretch and feel out these newly constructed muscles he has, and Monkey seems to be serving tea. And Reese, what do you do when you're idle?
Read, write in my book,
So yeah,
refill out the journal.
Samdi and Cornwallis do wander all and up in there.
Oh, you made it back. How come some of you aren't here?
They decided they want to get the shit kicked in.
Seems counterproductive. But hey, who am I to judge?
We're all
I
going
mean-
back there.
I made enemies with the main ruler of hell, so maybe I'm not one to judge.
Genesis and Glenn seem to like sparring with Lucifon and his forces.
Oh, how is he?
Lucifon seems good. He beat the living crap out of both of them pretty easily.
Oh, his obsession with swords tells me he's more of a swordsman after all, so.
He was also capable of plane shifting us, so
Oh. Without like an
Whatever.
artifact or anything? That's crazy. Maybe he's like a... I don't know what he is. I'm not gonna pretend to figure that out. Devils are weird. They come in all sorts of powers.
Oh. I say we just hunker down here.
For the night. That's what I was thinking too. And then we can plane shit. Or is... Here's my question, right? Like, what's the next step? Are we just gonna chill with Lucifon in hell? Or are we staying here? What... Going back to spa? Like, what's going on?
but don't we need to deal with your trial?
Yeah, in like 12 days.
Is there anything else we need to get done in hell?
I mean, I think it would make sense if I met Lucifon. That way he knows who he's working with.
Potentially.
He's potentially working with. Because if he judges me as not the type that he would be willing to put his reputation on the line for, that wouldn't exactly bode well.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good start then. We work on your introduction with Lucifon. See if there's anything that we need to do or can get done in Phlegathos. You know,
He would
Go
know
from there.
how... Yeah, I agree. And he would probably know the steps to winning this type of trial and what we would need to do. So, he knows his... He knows how to dance.
I will tell you, he sets great store on honor and loyalty. Does not seem to be a big fan of lying, of deception. It really doesn't like his dad.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
I mean, we can all relate to that. Probably.
My dad's dead.
Listen, I liked my dad just fine before he was murdered, but other than that,
Oh yeah, you too?
Well,
Look at us with our healthy parental relationships.
I wasn't a big fan of my follow-up father who, abducted me after murdering my dad. But so
Oh
there's
yeah,
that.
you too?
It's like everyone has a great tragedy in their life that becomes an adventurer. It's amazing how that works.
Nah, it's just perfectly well-adjusted Reese, who had no problems whatsoever, decided one day I want to put my life in mortal coil just to become an adventurer.
Yeah.
Technically, I think Genesis is that way too.
Yeah.
Genesis
It's like,
is
ah,
the
man, I'm bored.
well-adjusted
I'm gonna
one.
leave behind my happy family.
Genesis really is just a well-adjusted one.
I was living a comfortable, cushy life before all of you came. It was good. Plotting my revenge. You just became the instruments of that.
And I'm happy for you.
A surgical scalpel I needed.
I'm not sure that makes you well-adjusted, Resand.
I don't know. I'm perfect.
It just makes you a what's it called again?
Sociopath?
Accomplice?
I ate my father.
Oh,
Fun fact. I don't
metaphorically or
actually-
very literally?
Both.
Wonderful.
Oh.
Is that how it usually happens in Succession Wars when it comes between elementals?
It is, yes.
That's interesting.
Did you like your father?
Very much so. Taught me most of the things that I know.
Special place in my heart. And in my stomach.
Well, he never leaves. He's a part of me now.
They always are.
Well, that's just...
Just when I start to think I'm the most fucked up person in the room, someone has to go ahead and prove me wrong.
Oh, Bartakov. He'll pat you on the shoulder. You are.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. My folks, they came from the Feywilds, but I never knew them, so... Never worth it. So, wouldn't know.
Anyways, all of you are obviously welcome to stay here for the evening. I'll make sure that you have proper accommodations within the servants' quarters.
I appreciate that. I'm probably gonna spend the night in the library, though. Meditate against a wall, as needed.
Sure. Hey, Bart, how do you want to try your first coal bed?
Sure.
We'll keep the
Sounds
temperature low
relaxing.
at first.
You remember I'm immune to fire, right?
Very well. We'll strike it up.
Regret this.
So yes, you will have personal quarters within the servants' quarters. He's not giving you the niceties of his estate since, well, you guys still need to get fully back in his good graces.
He did. Yeah. I said to him, "You did get my message, didn't you?"
Who do you say that to?
Tawahash.
You sent me a message.
I did. I sent you a sending.
Was that at the end of last session?
I sent it to you as a private DM.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And you responded to me.
I did. Yeah. Then that's what he responded with.
No. I said you responded to me as like, "Oh yeah, I got that." I basically just told him I got him an in with Lucifon again.
Oh, you didn't DM it to me. You whispered it to me.
Whisper.
Because I
sorry.
checked Discord. I was like, okay, yeah. Very good. Someday, you can have one of my guest rooms. Cornwallis as well. So, the guest rooms are actually quite lovely. Much colder since he does control the temperature within his estate. So it's much more relaxing for the two of you to be inside of. Since both of you are pseudo-aquatic, he does have them bring a tremendous amount of water in here, which you will have an elemental just slowly dip their hand into in order to, like, sauna the room for you continually.
Isn't that like just dipping your hand in acid for him?
Yeah, but this is one of the non-conscious ones, so it doesn't hurt it. It's just living flames.
The
Completely
equivalent
different
of-
than Myrmidon.
The equivalent of torturing your Roomba.
Yeah. There's nothing evil about that. So,
torturing a Roomba with this.
Yeah. So everyone else, though, you are put into the servants' quarters, where the beds are much smaller. The temperature will remain just as hot. But Bart, you do get to try a coal bed for the first time, which is literally a shit ton of coals ignited, and you lay on top of it with a nice little like film over top to make it softer. And admittedly, that shit is comfortable, Bart. I mean, it's just, it's so cozy. Everyone else, you just see Bart literally on fire as he's sleeping.
Is there a way to like push two of the beds together so my legs don't have to hang off? Or I'm 6'8", maybe they do have some that are...
You're a little screwed. You're kind of legs hanging off. He's not giving you special accommodations yet.
Yeah, if you're screwed at 6'8".
Oh no! See, he's in the servants' quarters. You're given guest quarters. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you and Samdi did something extra to prove your worth to him.
Yeah, I'll try to maybe, like, if the bed moves, I'll kind of scoot it up into a corner so I can kind of, like, sit up a little bit in the corner, kind of like, and then have my legs, yeah.
But anyways, long rest completed. Do. On both sides.
How long was my -4 to stats last? Was it till long rest?
So you take away one of those every long rest. So now you're down to a -3.
Lovely.
Yeah.
With my free 4 hours, I'm gonna continue to research into.
Mike, a little closer.
Oh, sorry. Trying to keep it down because the wife is still sleeping.
Yeah.
Since I only need 4 hours of rest, I'm gonna continue to just research.
Okay, give me one more investigation. If you're using a spell slot, go right ahead.
Yeah. Why not? Specifically, I'm researching. Shit. Shit.
Research shit?
I forgot what the last thing I researched was. It was the spears, right? Oh, the creation of the spears. Like, where did they come from? Who made them? Something similar to that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another history check.
It's intelligence based, so I'm gonna roll that with advantage.
Sorry, not history. Investigation. My bad. It has to be the appropriate roll, so go ahead.
I'm gonna use the lucky because I got refreshed. So it's gonna be the first one, not the second one. 22.
Okay. So, Reese. It seemed that during the fabled era of Komortar, that is when these objects were gifted to the mortals that seem to be beginning to explore this land for the first time, beginning to fundamentally shape it into their own. They were gifted it by a powerful pantheon, a pantheon that superseded the one that would grow organically on this plane of existence. Lyra, as she organically grows, and the other gods like that, Pestil. Now, for the next bit, I will allow you to choose one of two options. Do you want to know who created them, or do you want to know why they were created?
Oh shit. I want to know why. Let's go with why first.
I will whisper that to you.
Okay.
Bum, bum, bum.
We're like, Bart has been wielding a bazooka this whole time, and we don't know what the reasoning is. One thing that sticks out to me still is the fact that he's threatened uh, Pope or whatever his name was, Baron Pope.
Baron Pote.
Yeah, and he seemed to have known what that was. So that was one of the concerns that came to my mind. Have a note on the side.
Yeah, I can't remember whether he knew what it was or he just recognized its power.
Yeah, and that really messed with me a bit. Because it's possible that he's using this whole thing between me and him, my disrespect, as a means to get that spear too. So that's just me grasping.
Plausible.
So, yeah. Everything I'm writing in my journal too.
Okay. I DM'd it to you. Discord. And it'll be completely up to you if you reveal that information or not.
That poses a whole nother list of questions.
I
So
figured.
I'm gonna, yeah,
But that's your 4 hours.
sure.
Everyone else, you wake up and Reese is just nose in books.
You would see me scratching out everything I just wrote out of my books, just redacting what I just found out.
Morning, Reese. That's all I say. It looks like a typical morning with him to me. I don't see anything different.
It makes sense, Monkey. This come here. Okay, come
Yeah.
here. This is
Yeah.
important. I think I know why you're here and not where you're originated from. And I look around, right? I look like a conspiracy nut at this point.
All right.
Is anyone around?
I'm gonna take my hat off and then kind of cover our faces as I lean in so that no one can read the lips.
I'm not kissing you. Not my type. Too much hair.
Just
Well, too much.
Gently on the neck.
Too little hair. So, I look around. Is anyone else in the library?
There's a couple of those raw and elemental servants that you've been ordering to grab a book, bring it to you, things like that.
Okay.
That's all they do remedial tasks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I start relaying to him. So Komortar is apparently nicknamed the Plane of Second Chances. Right? Those spears
All right.
are tools that were left behind or left into this world by some kind of celestial and heaven, like random ethereal beings that we don't know who they are, right? And the spears were made that way any powerful being, like gods, that were ever given a second chance in this world could be vanquished by guardians of this world if they go into an evil way. So, what I feel is those spears, right,
Yeah.
are the keys to basically slaying anything in this plane. Anything that can affect Komortar is a target for that spear. I feel, since Komortar is the plane of second chances, that you came here from another plane as a second chance. It would make sense why we're not finding much about you. I think Tal'Dorei found your boots in a different plane.
Wow. Interesting.
Wait,
Well,
where did...
you know, and I was recalling my sister's name is Exandria. Maybe she's just from there, and I'm confusing it up. But
Do you remember where those boots, the Trailblazer boots, where did Tal'Dorei find them? Remember him mentioning it before.
he did, and Brother Glenn has such a better memory than I do. I'm sure he would remember.
It would confirm that you're from under the plane and not from this plane. That you were sent here for a second chance. If we can find out if the boots were found in a different plane.
Yeah, we should find out, because that would make sense, because like all my knowns, they're kind of like memories, but they just don't quite fit in here. That might make some sense. We'll have to get with Brother Glenn and see what he remembers.
This is important.
Are we... Should we not share this with other people?
Sure, you can share with the party. Just make sure. My concern is if anyone finds out about the spears.
I'm a dead man.
Yeah. The spears are literally the only weapons that were designed to take people out of this plane.
I wonder how they can be destroyed.
The spears?
I'm just curious, like, you know, how they can be made and how they can be destroyed. I am a excellent armorsmith, you know, and weapon crafter.
Maybe. I mean, they were designed by celestials, or the heavens, or some kind of ethereal being, so who knows?
Yeah, I wonder if the fires here or the lakes of lava are strong enough to do it.
I don't think Bartikov's gonna relinquish his
No,
spear.
I'm not necessarily saying his spear or anything like that. I'm just curious, like, because if they are, I don't know. It's
It would
interesting.
explain why I can't find your artifact here. Why your artifact's in another world, too.
That would explain that as well. Yeah. What was the name of the person that, or you didn't get the name though, the celestial?
No,
or
it
the
was.
being?
I figured out the why. I would have to research more to figure out the who.
Bart and Samdi, you both walk into the room around this time.
Did you see a hat in front of us?
Just
How are you two getting on?
move the hat. And I kind of went.
What have I walked in on?
I'm joking.
I believe Glenn knows me 5 silver.
No, we Reese, you want to tell him the information
Yeah, come
found out?
here. Get close. Right. Actually, I feel like we're safe here in Tal'Dorei, so I don't think I don't know if Tal'Dorei would use this type of weapon. You know what? I'm just gonna state it. So essentially, the Komortar, right, is known as the plane of second chances. It's where you go to, like powerful beings, like gods that were given a second chance to come to this world. Could be, well, let me rephrase that. Komortar itself is just called the plane of second chances, right? Things come here that were either vanquished, possibly, this is just theories at this point, vanquished or killed in another plane, right? But they're given a second chance here, right? The entirety of Komortar, the design of those spears, that spear, was designed that way if anything affects Komortar in any way, can essentially be vanquished with it. You literally have the weapon that can kill gods of Komortar.
Okay, that tracks with what we already know about the spears. One is gone. I
I
have
don't
the
think
other.
it is.
It disappeared with Silk when we killed him. I think I have a vague recollection that Kat had promised Lyra that we would get rid of them all, so maybe Lyra took it?
Which makes sense. It's the only thing that can kill Lyra too. Like gods
mean,
are,
true.
in its own sense, creatures of self-preservation too, right? Like if I knew I was an all-powerful being and there's one thing that could kill me, I would, even if I was a good god, I'd still be concerned about it. Because if it got in the wrong hands.
Yeah, that's true.
100% fair.
And I do remember, now that you mention it, Bart, I do remember Kat saying something about Lyra and the spear. So you're probably right about destroying. It was something about it.
I don't think Lyra destroyed it. I think
I don't
Lyra
think she
moved
destroyed
it.
it. I think she kept it.
I think she moved it. I feel like these spears were designed to stay in Komortar. It's a theory, right? It's just a working theory.
I mean, it would make sense why they're all on the same continent.
Mm-hmm. It could be moved to another continent. It could be plunged into the deepest darks of the ocean, or it could be with one of her most loyal followers because for a trusted thing. Like there's
I mean,
several paths for security a god can take.
her most loyal followers do consist of Kat. I don't know about any others. And I know there are some, but I don't know who they are.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense if a god can take the spear into their domain when something more powerful left it specifically for Komortar guardians to use. And then my other question is like, what are these guardians, right? Are those just random people that can just pick up the spear and use it willy-nilly? Or is that some kind of prophecy? Like, it's just a whole list of possibilities. I wish Kat was here.
Same. Definitely would help make sense of this. Although she would definitely be arguing why have we kept the spear for so long.
Yeah, we probably need to find the third. But what do we do with the spears? The other two or other one if we find them?
I don't know.
I don't know how to destroy them either. I've been putting that one off for as long as possible because it benefits me.
Well, now you know what can kill your ooze boy, if it ever came down to it.
You're not wrong.
To clarify, everybody other than Genesis and Glenn are aware of this conversation.
Yeah.
Genesis and I are just out back with Lucifon, just like, ugh, ugh, teach me something new.
I feel like Joey has been seething at the mouth to give us this lore this whole time.
God,
Well, in all fairness, we started the spears, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to go to another plane library to find out anything about them. So that would also make sense.
Honestly, you just had to go to a library. The
library.
party doesn't do that.
I'm
No, we're not smart
No,
people.
no, I'm not complaining. It's just that's what happens,
Yep. I'm not a learned folk. Well, I'm learned, but I got more the common sensual.
Y'all experience the lore, not get whacked with it.
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason we need this other spear?
Make sure it doesn't get in the wrong hands.
I mean, if it stayed hidden this whole time. I mean, it seems like all of the spears have been guarded by druids, and I recall a conversation that druids are pretty rare now.
Yeah, we only know of, 2.
I know of, a ranger guy, right? I'm not sure if he's a ranger or a druid, but he's a guy that takes care of the ecosystem of the freaking, not the bugbear areas, but not bugbear, the
Owlbear.
owlbear areas, yeah. So
I thought
I
it
don't
was
know
just
if he
a
was a
hippie.
druid. Yeah, he was just a hippie, but he had nature magic. Not sure if it was druid or ranger. So he didn't have armor.
Well, we should discuss with Tal'Haj if there's a way to, if he's got a place here that's strong enough to destroy an artifact.
But why would we destroy it and not use it?
Again, getting in the wrong hands.
Right.
And looking back on the first one, I want to say that it almost possessed, or it did start possessing Fenn when he grabbed it. We had to get it away from him.
I wonder if the
don't know what
Guardians
you're
are.
talking. I feel
Sorry.
fine.
I wonder if the Guardians are those druids that were channeling it.
I don't know.
About destroying them, isn't there a reason they were created?
Yeah, they're to fend anything that is overexerting itself into Komortar.
Yeah. Destroying them, doesn't that weaken Komortar's purpose? Is the
Yeah.
plane of
I-
second chances that
Yeah.
Reese has found? It loses one of its protections on being that.
But
Destroying them may not necessarily be the right answer.
And it may not, but thinking back here, a couple things. One, they're hidden now, so they're not doing any protection, except for the one Bart has. Two, I really remember some not good stuff with that first spear that we found in Fenn.
I think whatever Guardian was first given to it might have been those druids, and I think whatever that druid was might have been possessing your friend. Right, this is a long shot.
That could be very well, because I remember there was some type of something, and he didn't even want to give it up. You remember that, Bart? I think you were going to go for it, and he ended up with it in his hand, and he didn't want to something. I don't remember.
Yeah, Blackfeather was odd.
Was that was the name of the first spear?
Yeah.
Does this one have a name?
Yes, I believe so.
Check my notes.
If this one has a name, when that's another question. Like, who
unburnished,
named these?
it's like
Yeah,
unburnished
the
something.
unburnished.
Unburnished heart. Is that what it's called?
Unburnished heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the unburnished heart.
Yeah. So, like, who named these things? Why are they named that? You know what I mean?
I mean, weapons get given names all the time. That doesn't mean that it's significant. Doesn't mean that it's not, but
As a storyteller, names have power. Myths and legends are created by names.
You
So-
mentioned, Monkey, that, they're hidden so they're not doing any good, but I know Glenn and Genesis tend to be the two that are more obsessed with books, but I've spent enough time with Genesis to know that way a lot of those stories work. And when you have a powerful artifact that was built for a reason, a lot of times it stays hidden until it's needed. Kind of like the fact that you found that first spear when you needed to deal with whoever this Silk guy was. And then as soon as you dealt with that threat to the plane, it mysteriously disappeared.
I think that was due to a deal they made, though.
Was it? Do you know that for certain?
They
Maybe the deal's part of it, though, too.
makes a
mean,
good
these
point.
kind of artifacts make their own stories in some ways. When you're dealing with items of this level of power,
I can
maybe
see it.
you can't even find it until it's needed. But
I mean, that
True.
would make me feel more comfortable about it.
I could be completely wrong too, and they could just be
Yeah.
random weapons that are out there for anyone to wield and murder with at their whim.
I'll
But
glance at Bart.
So, the original reason, if I,
I
recall,
mean, the first
original,
one had a.
Wait, Reese was talking, dude.
Oh, yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
So, if I recall, the original reasons why you sought out the spear in the Spalding Mountain, right, was because you guys had to kill Infinitus. You guys killed Infinitus. It didn't disappear.
Yeah.
So, food for thought on that one.
Yeah, that does make me think that the first one disappeared as a result of some deal that Cat made with Lyra. Or some other outside force, not the nature of the spears themselves. It would be a little too convenient if they just appeared for their purpose and then disappeared afterwards. Be very nice, be very convenient, but no, I'm wielding this one and using it for my own purposes. malign or otherwise.
Yeah.
Maybe we should find the third one and still ask Tawahaj about destruction, just in case. I'm not saying we have to, but
It would be good to know how. I did promise Kat that I would destroy it eventually.
As Tawahaj what?
I'm just wondering. You have all these fire and lake fires and stuff like. Are any of them strong enough to like destroy magic items or artifacts, or we're having a debate? We're just curious.
Roll me a deception check, monkey.
Shit. God, this is why I don't talk.
You have game advantage. You have game advantage.
No, it's perfect that you're talking. It's perfect.
Okay. Let me double check. I think I have. Just let me before. I'm sorry. Someone play some elevator music or something, because I want to say. I do have. I think I have advantage from one of my runes.
I'll wait for you to roll before I cut you off.
What am I? Rune
Annoying, narcissistic,
No, character. I was talking
delusional.
about character. Yeah, not person.
Delusion.
I'm just like classic God, trying to find a way to destroy the one weapon that can take them out, as I stated.
Delusions of grandeur.
Where is it? Okay, it's gonna be. Nope. Oh wait. Yes, I do have advantage on deception checks. Okay.
Cool. Because why not?
Guess why not? Yep.
It's Rune Knight.
Yeah, I love Rune Knight.
They do everything. It's so ridiculous. They do everything.
Okay, here we go.
Natural 20, nice.
Tawahaj has a +6. As he's about to accept that answer, he notices a very faint twitch of your finger running over the top of your hat as you're nervously placing it back up, and just...
I cut him off and I go, I owe you a debt, right? And I don't like owing debts, so this information is prevalent to you too. And I start vomiting the information about the spears. I explain that the whole idea of Komortar, right? I explain that it's the only thing that can kill gods, apparently.
Roll me persuasion to see if he is offended by Monkey trying to lie to him. Gonna say it's
Come on,
pretty
guys.
high.
We just got him back on side.
Yeah, I know. Persuasion.
I'm
Persuasion.
setting the DC pretty high.
Oh, lovely. I'm gonna use a lucky because that is the type of roll that I would have.
You don't have to roll exceptionally well, right? Like, just...
It's high, but your bonus is good enough that.
Okay, you hit the DC.
26. Okay.
God damn.
Oh.
Immediately rolls a 2.
I set the DC to 25.
The 2.
Oh, Jesus.
I told you, man. My rolls are fire.
I'm getting nervous,
It's a
feeling a little
nice change
sweat.
for you.
Feeling a little sweat in my underpants because I'm nervous.
No, they're always 1s and 2s.
He'll nod and look over at you, Monkey. It's all right. I would also be terrified if my life was in danger by such an object as well.
I appreciate
Beautiful
your
gods.
understanding.
Vain creatures, really. But
Can't relate.
it does sound interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Do. I should really
And,
get around to reading my own books.
Yeah, they're apparently, from what Reese says, they're pretty good, and now.
It took 6 books to figure this information out, and I put all 6 books.
Do you not
I
have
am-
2 allies currently within the 9 hells without any, let's call it, adult supervision?
Yeah, I trust Brother Glenn and Genesis, I think. But now, I'm assuming by what you said that you do have lakes here that are powerful enough to destroy something like that.
An artifact level magic item? I don't have anything like that. In fact, in all of my research and study, I've never found something like that other than, well, the Lake of Fire within the 9 hells.
Insight
makes sense.
check.
Go for it.
Oh, can I do it with 2 or is it?
Sure.
Okay.
2
let me see.
people. Guys, I'm trying to let you both play the game. I'm trying.
And that was me a whole session. I get it.
Yeah.
And I do get advantage on it. Oh, it doesn't matter. 17.
17 and 26. No, you don't sense any deception behind what he's saying.
Cool. How have you have been truly forgiven?
Excuse me?
I said you have been truly forgiving.
Oh, I heard forgiven.
Yeah.
Who?
No, I had a thing in my throat. My
That'd
bad.
be a different conversation. Well, goodbye, get out.
Thank you very much for your hospitality. We all appreciate it.
Of course.
All right. Where is? And I look around for our Uber, for our somebody.
Standing over your shoulder.
Oh, there you are.
Crack
Sorry,
a
I was
dilly, man.
distracted.
Just because I'm not talking doesn't mean I'm not here. Anyway. Alright, everyone jump in the pond. And I activate plane shift.
Boop, 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 boop.
The what now?
Now, you all appear right outside of Lucifon's glorious tower, where you see out front Genesis and Glenn, after sleeping the night before, woke up bright and early to do more sparring with more devils.
She devil.
And you guys finally see all of your allies, and holy fuck, it almost took 2.5 hours, but we got everybody back together.
Woo!
I don't know why I was fighting it that much. I'm sorry.
I apologize to them.
I don't know. It's cool.
They also fought it though in their defense.
That's true.
Before we leave, I just want to ask Lucifon one question, if there's a chance.
Absolutely.
if there's time.
Go for it.
Can I ask it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Lucifon, I just have one super quick question.
Yes.
How do I know what I bring to the team? How do I find that out?
Well, no, wrong one. Well, it's important to know that there are specific roles within a group dynamic to ensure that everybody gets along or work well together. It's impossible to tell you specifically what it is you bring into the table, but even if it's just a better moral compass, it can be gloriously beneficial to a group.
Thank God we're in need of one of those.
Yeah, we definitely need that.
Thank you, Lucifon.
I'm going back inside. He heads inside, and then an hour later, boop, everybody appears.
Woo!
The group's
Thank you.
back together.
Look, I mean, for the record, Genesis, I think you bring plenty to the table.
Courage. I bring courage.
Fact.
You
It's
bring
joke,
goddamn
sorry.
common sense. Something the rest of us are lacking in.
I don't know. I did throw toilet paper into a whirling dervish. Or whatever that was.
I contribute enemies.
It was worth a good attempt.
I contribute enemies.
Contribute enemies.
Same.
My baggage is your guys' baggage.
Oh, hey guys. Whoa. Who's that, devilishly handsome, fire genasi? Oh, it's Bart. Hey.
How's it going?
Hmm.
So the resurrection was a success, but I changed a bit. Cattail.
Some
Yeah,
might
I'll
call him
say.
hot.
Hey, he's looking pretty fire, man.
Pretty
Yeah.
fly.
I've looked worse. It's true.
Well, anyway, we're glad you guys could finally make it. Reese, we kind of buttered up Lucifon a bit for you if you want to make some introductions to him and such.
Sure. I don't know what the way of entering the castle or his palace is. I don't know. Is there something I need to know?
Oh, don't lie.
I don't lie. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Reese, look at me. Do not lie.
I don't lie.
One more time. One
I
more
have
time in case.
Been honest about every deal I've made.
Just repeat after me. I will not lie to Lucifon.
Is it lying or is it deception?
Both.
I have a feeling it's the wrong person you're
Monkey and
harping
I
this on.
I'm really
Monkey
concerned at
and I
how
look
hard
at
this
each
is for you guys.
Reese, I need
That's
to
a
hear
valid
you say the words.
I'm trying to make a deal.
Bart?
No, I mean,
You were
this
saying-
is for your own benefit, man.
Bart was saying something.
I was just saying, I look at Monkey, I'm like, we can do this. We'll be okay. Because realistically, Reese is not going to be the problem here. Monkey and I are the ones with the ludicrous deceptions.
As
I
that
think
last interaction with Tawahaj proved. It wasn't Reese that tried to lie to him.
Yes, Samdi, you still have your arm.
I don't lie when it comes to deals, Glenn.
Right. I mean, you asked for like things you should know. That's what you should know.
Got it. Be truthful. Be honest.
Don't deceive.
Don't deceive
Don't be suspicious. Don't be
him from
suspicious.
information that he doesn't need to know. Got it.
All right, you got this, champ, and I'll tap you on the back.
Jeez, so bad.
Pretend you're like that. Sorry, pretend you're like that one character that whenever you lie, something happens to you that shouldn't happen, and then that's incentive that you shouldn't lie.
Ooh,
I mean,
character idea.
if he lies, something will happen to him that he would rather not happen.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Involving limbs being pulled off.
So,
Oh.
is anybody going up there with him?
I think we should go together.
Who's my emissary?
maybe.
I'll go.
I think we should
Ooh.
all go.
Cornwallis, are you volunteering to be his emissary?
Sure.
I pop my wings out and I show full devil since he said he wants honesty. Might as well show him what I actually am.
Do we have any like protection spells? Because I just have like a feeling. Like
I do. You need one?
no, I just like it just in case a lie happens. I just want to make sure that we've got like some preemptive protection going on.
Why do you assume I'm gonna lie?
The best form of protection is to stay out of the splash zone.
All right. So, do you guys think we should go in support of Reese, or just keep it smaller scale?
Well, no, we should all go. It's just
I concur.
I mean, he's already met us.
Yeah.
Pretty chill dude.
I'll go, and I'm going to be near Reese and nowhere near Monkey. Because if anyone's going to get smited in this conversation, it's got to be Monkey, not Reese. I don't know why you're also worried that Reese is going to be the one that lies to him.
Because
I
Reese
think the word is smote.
Well, the thing is, Reese is the one that's asking for Lucifon's representation. It's like he doesn't like. It doesn't matter about Monkey or Bartikov.
I know, but I've never seen Reese be all that visibly dishonest all that much.
True.
I'm honest about deals.
Yes.
Monkey, I just watched try to lie to Tawahaj. The other person we're trying to get back in good graces with. I know you weren't here for this, Glenn, but Monkey just tried to lie to Tawahaj. So, and while he tried really good at it, it still didn't work. Reese had to talk him down.
I have an idea. So, like, as a show of good faith, we can have a handler. So just hear me out. Whenever you start to say something that might not be completely truthful, maybe Cornwallis can just smack you with a stick. So that way they can see that we're trying in good faith to keep you on the up and up.
I've been dealing with devils my whole life. I think I'll be fine.
Okay. I'm just saying it was a good
Ain't your
idea.
Average devil. This is advanced devil.
Right. Well,
What
y'all
could go
ready?
wrong, right?
Oh, roll me a D100. Roll me a
other day,
D100.
I wanted to say that so bad the other day, and I held it in.
What did he
Okay.
say?
He said, "What could go wrong?"
I know.
You
I know.
never say that shit in my game.
What could go wrong, and what's the worst that could
88.
happen? Don't say those.
I mean, yeah,
Unless-
that is an invitation for a roll.
Yeah, unless you want to have fun, which I almost did the other day. And then we almost got wiped out. I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't say that.
So, nothing randomly and chaotically happens after you tempt fate.
Okay.
However, you all begin entering into the bastion. This very long tower that erects into the sky for several hundred feet. You begin walking inside of this ironclad tower and stepping upon these pure metallic stairs that you walk up. It is designed specifically so that you cannot fly all the way up there, Reese. You have to, at minimum, fly up the winding staircase to the height.
I'm walking.
Going the
humble.
several hundred feet, it is exhausting. If you are not a martial character, you need to roll me an athletics check.
Oh shit.
Okay, I'm floating up the stairs again.
Squid D.
Athletics.
Reese is just showing full demon. I'm showing full aberration.
Cornwallis, you said you're going to be his handler.
Yes.
All right, you're helping him up after about 2 flights of stairs.
After a while,
I-
I realize it's really hard, so I just pull out the broom and I sit on that, and then I float up.
I'm gonna share like what my mental image of Reese or like Cornwallis carrying Reese up the stairs for a bit. Who here has seen Kung Fu Panda 2?
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene where Po gets captured and is brought to the tower?
So
No.
stairs.
Oh, and he's
Yeah,
just
so-
dying.
No, not that. It's like during the climax of that scene. You're at the top of the stairs. The peacock's like waiting for him, and he just hears the heaviest footsteps and just, oh. And he's just imagining the biggest fucking thing coming up the stairs, and it turns out it's one of his henchmen carrying up Po because he got so exhausted.
Yeah, that's about accurate.
Yeah, after a while,
Anyways.
because I'm so prideful, I would just pull out the broom and
Perfect. Then you have wandered your way up to the height of this tower. The top showroom is this very vast open area that has a lavish looking rug that you can immediately eye as something that probably once belonged to Tawahaj and is now as a gift to this individual. As you begin walking forward, you see this large throne that the entire back of it is made out of hundreds of blades that Lucifon has collected over the years. All of them unique. Well, at least most of them. Some of you have 24, 25. The 3 of you would notice that there are a few more simple-looking blades within that mix that definitely stand out compared to the complex ones behind them.
Were you just reading off people's passive perceptions?
Yep.
Fucking hell.
24, 25, 24. Yeah.
It's all right. I'm probably around you, Bart, or probably less.
You can see everybody's
I'm-
passive at the bottom of the screen. It's right there. PP 24.
Yeah, yours. Yeah, yours is better than mine, Bart. I'm always distracted by doing my hair, looking in the mirror.
Reese, you see the regal son of Asmodeus, the youngest born, the newest member of the Devil Lords of the Nine Hells, the ruler of Phlegethos, and the individual known as the Master Swordsman, Luciphon the Morning Star.
Against my better judgment, take a knee and pull out my sword, the sword of Perunes. You know, I've been told not to. I lift it up as an offering. And I said, it speaks a story. And think of it as tribute for right now.
He rises from his throne, stepping slowly across the landscape over towards you. Bard and Monkey, this is your first time seeing him. The presence of this individual is very commanding. He moves with a confidence and slowness that only predators can move with. He approaches over to the sword, reaches down and takes it from you. Only those that serve me bow to me.
Take a knee up.
He goes over to the throne and nestles it in to a nice little slot.
I can't say I serve you because I just met you. And for me to swear allegiance to someone I don't know would be the equivalent of me swearing to Asmodeus again. And I can't do that mistake twice. I can't.
He looks at you as you're speaking, analyzing you. You have a reputation within the Hells. Do you understand what that means to me?
I'm a liability.
I do not tolerate liars nor deceivers anywhere within my realm.
In all senses of business, I am 100% honest.
Without deception.
For business? I've only ever been honest.
I'm not asking you to be specific.
As long as I am within your realm, I shall respect your rules.
So you are deceptive.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I've deceived a whole family into me thinking that I was part of their family just so I can seek revenge. If I told you I wouldn't be a deceiver, that would also be a lie.
I've spoken to many of your allies. He gestures at the ones that have been previously here. I've learned that they do have unearned loyalty to you. Based on what I've been able to surmise from your tales and regalings, my own research into your person, do you believe that the loyalty you receive is earned?
As Reese like ponders that question, trying to put his pride aside. No. I've only brought misfortune on them. Words that have came out of my mouth have been caused toxic situations. And I've caused a lot more problems than I have solutions. I don't deserve their loyalty.
But you have it. That is a responsibility you cannot simply give up. That is something that you have to destroy yourself or build upon.
Which is why I haven't ran away.
That is one of the many reasons I'm even entertaining your presence. I do not like you. I do not like what you have done, how you have served. I do not respect you. But I do understand it. Betrayal is a wound that festers in one's soul. Do you plan on accepting loyalty as a cure for that festering?
I'm gonna need a little bit more context.
Your life, the things that have transpired to make you who you are, the betrayals of your peers, your people, your lords, the betrayal of the politics, of the devils, all of that has left your soul worthless. Are you willing to accept this loyalty from others to help rebuild that soul?
I'm willing to accept their loyalty. But my soul's damned. I've done too much bad.
You can't change the fact your soul is damned, but you can change the quality of which it is. There's no such thing as a soul that is beyond repair. Everybody has committed atrocities. It's impossible to be powerful without doing so. And yet, souls can be repaired. What is the quality and worth of one's soul?
Was that a question of my opinion?
It is.
The authority it demanded.
And everybody else, what is your opinion?
The intent of its deeds.
I believe we're all equally worthless.
Us specifically, or everyone?
Yes.
We all deserve to die. Even you, even I.
Especially me.
I love Sweeney Todd. Anyways.
I've never tried to put a value on a person's soul. I don't know that I know how to determine it.
I'd say a person's soul is priceless, as every soul is unique in its own ways. And it depends on their actions, and of course there's free will. And to be honest with you, I trust someone that's fallen down 7 times and gotten back up and tried to do better than someone that's never made a mistake, because they don't. And they can't make mistakes.
That's my God.
That is horseshit.
Well, let me put it this way. If someone's never, my opinion, if someone does not commit mistakes because they can't commit mistakes, there's no challenge in that. But what is challenge in life is doing wrong and realizing you do wrong and trying to do better. Just my opinion.
The part that is horseshit is the value you established. Souls are not priceless. In fact, the value on a soul is quite tangible. But
You're
it
right.
is dictated by the way the soul nurtures itself and others. This coin, he reaches into his pocket, pulls a soul coin out of a very pissed off looking Kenku. This coin is one of the least valuable soul coins in all the 9 hells, because the creature it was crafted out of was among the worst in existence. But the value of a different coin, Snapper. The value of a different coin, say one of a archpriest to a goddess of love and beauty, one that has done nothing but nurture their community. That coin to a devil, as well as the soul to the heavens, that is valued, well, beyond the concept of coin. In individuals' deeds and the way they nurture the community dictates the value of a soul. I have a special ability. I can look at one's soul and see the value upon it. Not how you would anticipate with dollar signs or coins, but it's like a bar. The more full the bar is, the more valuable that soul is, and the more it needs to be nurtured. The less full the bar is, the less valuable it is.
So,
Thank you. Oh, go ahead, Genesis.
oh, I'm sorry. So, is a soul only capable of as much as it is able to, and then as much as it is willing to fulfill one way or the other, good or bad, is how much it's worth?
It's not quite that simple. It's also dictated by its influence on others. Reese, for example. Your soul has a tremendous amount of influence on individuals around you. But that influence has been decrepit, defiling, without nurture, except towards one individual, I sense. Whom is that individual?
Well, they're not alive anymore. It's my wife. I would destroy the world for her.
destroying a world is easy. Why have you not considered repairing one? Rubble is meaningless, whereas a monument, a shrine, holds power.
It's funny because a little less than a year ago, I would have argued that the world took it from me. But after traveling with them, it's high consideration. It's hard to let go.
Of course it is. If it was easy, then it wouldn't be love. So, what is it you have come here for?
For aid, I spoke my tongue spoke freely and insulted Asmodeus. As a cleric of Asmodeus, it caused me to fall. And I'm being tried for the disrespect of that. But I don't think I spoke out of term. I don't know, I questioned myself. This whole time I've been questioning myself on a lot of things I used to believe in. And when I was lost, I was damned by the god that I sought assistance from. So now I'm going to be tried in 10 days, if I recall the time, because it was 12 days originally with the hot spring and then the Tal'Dorei situation.
10 days, yeah.
10 days, yeah. Be tried for allegations against Asmodeus and Nethys. And Lilith had mentioned you might be our hope, or might be able to aid us in that endeavor. She told us to contact you. Well, didn't tell, she recommended.
None of that answered my question. What did you come here for?
Aid in the allegations against Asmodeus.
Incredibly short-sighted.
The power to take what I want. Is that the answer you wanted?
Yes,
it's not gonna solve the problem.
I need to know who you are. I do not deal with people that I don't understand why they do what they do. I don't care how powerful an individual is. I care about why they try to do things. And if your motivation is power, I understand that. I've recognized that. And I do not create deals and contracts when dealing with things of the soul. That is not my currency. How far would you go to gain this power you desire?
The power to take what I want with the authority to back it up. I would step on anyone I needed to.
Would you nurture your soul and those souls around you?
If that was the cost, yes. Everything has a price. and that would be the price, then yes.
In all my years, I've only ever met one mortal that has had more influence on the souls around them than you. And you are the polar opposite of that individual.
I'm not a good person.
You aren't. But even the concept of you nurturing those that have granted you respect and loyalty, despite you knowing fair and well that you do not deserve it, is something you would only do if it served a purpose. Would you not nurture those around you because of that loyalty?
Yes.
Then prove it to me.
Like right now?
Is there a greater time than the present?
I look at Bart, and I go, Bart, out of the respect of everything you've sacrificed, both body and whole, that you've dealt for myself and everyone here, I relinquish the contract we made for an item that you would ever grab, that you are to give to me on request. By doing so, I also let you know of the knowledge of the contract, because it wasn't specified as keeping it away from you, that Catherine made a deal with me to stop you from eating Jubilexes by any means possible.
Sounds like her.
The tattoo that I do have for you does come off that. Go down the list. Glenn, I think
No.
your naivety is foolish
No.
at most times,
Yes. And the other ones.
but a younger me used to see from the eyes that you see the world as. And I hope you never stop seeing the good in people. Going down the list. Genesis. I don't know much about you. I don't. It didn't even tell me where you're from. But your worth to this team comes in all forms. And I know that if I asked you for aid, you would assist me. You're here in hell, for God's sakes. That's something you just don't find. Cornwallis. I have betrayed you and wronged you. Not betrayed you. I have wronged yourself in 2 situations I can think of. And pride aside, I apologize. It was wrong. I shouldn't have made you talk to Lilith.
All I ever wanted.
Pride aside. Next on the list. Samdi. You see the world very similar. How you see the world is very similar to how I see the world. And with that, I can't tell you that what you're saying is bad. But it's nice to know I'm not alone in a lot of my views. and I appreciate what you helped me with. Monkey, if there was a god I would follow, it would have been you. Right. Now that I understand what you are. But as a follower, I don't feel like I'm worth your power.
I appreciate those words, and you are worth it anytime you're ready.
Lucifon will raise his hand. Resund, step out of my chambers.
I step out.
He waves his hand and the iron thick doors slam shut. And he looks at all of you. Do you all believe that he is worth your loyalty still?
I will answer it and throw this in there too. First of all, I want to thank you for your education. I do think he is worth it. And I've been thinking about your question about souls and value. It's kind of like, man, I've learned a lot today. This is great. It's kind of like having two books that are identical. You got one book that's read and used and studied. That's valuable. You got the same exact book sitting in a desk somewhere, never touched, cover never cracked. It's not going to be as valuable. And Reese is our book that we like to crack open and read, and I see a lot in him.
Next.
More than I ever have in the past.
He said thank you, or sorry.
That's all it takes sometimes.
It wasn't an exact 100%, but it's still more than I would have previously.
He'll look at Bart.
I wouldn't say that Resand has always had my friendship or my trust. He's always had my respect. And for all we have gone through now, I can't think of anyone else I would want to have on my team. I would trust him with my life. I have trusted him to have my back on more occasions than I can count at this point. And he's never let me down. Even though he is a stinking coward when it comes to a fight.
I mean, my answer hasn't really changed since the last time I answered it, Lucifon. I know that if I were in his shoes, that I would want his help. So I would definitely do the same.
Psalm D, Genesis.
I'm not a faithful person, and I rarely ever use the sword, but I have faith that he can be redeemed, and I have hope that he can make the right choices. So, yes.
I had a thought, but I lost it for a second.
We'll give you a second.
My opinion of Reese has never been particular in one direction or another. We share very similar views, as he stated, and neither of us seem to get on each other's moral quandaries. In recent days, I haven't particularly enjoyed his choice of action. But from the looks of it, he's reflected, and that's not something I say particularly often either. I don't care to reflect on things.
He stands there for a few moments, looking at each of you, analyzing you. Then he waves his hand. The iron doors filter open. You may enter.
I step in.
Likewise.
Oh, all of you guys have been in here.
Yeah.
You just told Reese, get out while I talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Rasan. I can see clearly that your words, regardless of truth behind them or not, move everybody's soul within your proximity. If you promise me that you will use this unparalleled ability of yours to help nurture and strengthen the souls of your peers, then I will promise you that your case against my father will have me at your back to watch it and to slay any devil that would try to break the honor that devils used to have to be held to. This is no deal. This is no pact. I'm asking for the word of someone whose word has meant the most to them. But this is my price.
To use my power of influence to better the souls of people who are aiding me. Is that the stipulation here? What you're requesting?
Better the souls of those around you.
My whole stake is to corrupt the soul. But for this new price of freedom, I'm willing to do whatever is necessary. This includes nurturing the souls of those around me. I swear on the word of myself, Rasan Devon Spaulding.
He will walk back over to the throne, picking up the sword of the Perun, unsheathing it, walks till he's about 3 feet away from you, and holds the blade straight out towards your chest. Then plunge yourself upon my weapon.
For reals?
He doesn't reply, he just stares.
I'm gonna insight check him.
Go for it.
I probably would too. Just
Go for it.
I'm sure Joey wouldn't kill you like this.
I'm sure he wouldn't either, but
It's been my plan the whole time. 22.
I've had enough of you, Reese.
Monkey. 15 would beat his passive deception. He is not trained in lying whatsoever. It's very clear he does not believe in it. But both of you see that he wants to see how strong your resolve is, and this is the way to prove the strength of your resolve.
Oh, yeah, resolve-wise? Yeah, I have no issues proving that. I walk into that blade, no problem once I understand.
All right, athletics check.
I mean, you are literally walking into a sword.
Hey!
As soon as it pokes...
I'll use my second thing of lucky.
Walk into it, poke it slightly. Hold on a second.
Okay. You muster yourself up and charge enough to let it skewer through you, where there's this large burst of fire that immediately coalesces into this dark black flame that envelops all around you, Reese, and you feel this surge of power through your veins as this happens. And then he draws the weapon backwards. All right, get ready.
In our newfound friendship, I offer to help you, Reese.
And as he relinquishes the blade from you, you see that black marker in your chest seems to solidify into a gem. And you feel this spiritual tingle you have not had for quite some time. Congratulations, Reese. You have restored your levels in Cleric.
Oh, nice. Things are moving the way they're supposed to move.
You have the option to move into War Domain. It's just an option. That is his thing.
No.
Yes.
No.
I gotta ponder.
Yes.
What do you think you're doing?
Let me ponder that one.
Okay. Well then. You have me at your back. I'm sure you can navigate the majority of your hearing yourself. But if you need any advisement or conversation, let me know. Also, do not hide that marker on your chest. It shows that you are one of my legion. And it takes an awfully powerful individual to want to go against my legion. Unlike the other devils, my empire's built on loyalty.
I grab my the gem thing where my heart is, and I go, noted.
Genesis,
Yes, sir.
you had asked me earlier today how to know what one's role is in a group. Well, if you so desire, you could be responsible for reminding individuals of the goals and promises they make. If Reese feels so inclined to allow that assistance.
I can do that if Reese is okay with it.
Trust me. You know what? I'm being open to new things, as well as being opened up, apparently, today.
Oh, it's barely even a flesh wound. I stopped Glenn and Genesis way worse than that yesterday. They asked for it too.
Oh yeah, you got it easy.
How does I swing?
It's a lot of you.
So Genesis, are you willing to pick up that task?
Yes.
Okay. Reese, are you willing to accept that task? Accept that assistance.
I don't know you that well, Genesis, but
We went shopping together. Does that not mean anything to you?
I've been shopping with a lot of my enemies. But as long as you do right by me, then I have no issues or quarrels with that. But if that's the case, you're going to be opened up to certain dealings that I do. And just be aware that you'll probably see things you're not going to like. So as long as you keep me on the straight, I'll try to do right by you too.
Okay.
So, shall we begin the preparations for your hearing?
Yeah. Whatever you need.
I believe the politics side is probably closer to you.
It's the issue, is I don't know much about, even though I worshipped him for so long, like I don't actually know anything about why or like what the actual allegation, like the concrete of that is, you know? Like I don't know where to start.
Your words sent a ripple through the nine hells. If a lowly cleric can speak out against the Lord of Devils, the Lord of Deception, as I prefer to call him, then that means that more powerful individuals could see themselves replacing him. Now, aside from you, there's only been 3 other entities within the non-hells to ever directly oppose him openly. That would be Lilith, his wife, Levistus, his punished, and myself. The difference between you and us 3, well, needless to say, your threats carry possibility on them. But you are not of a power where you could speak those words and not have repercussions. You're being tried not just for speaking out against him, but for ensuing chaos within the nine hells. And chaos is something we do not adhere to down here.
But like, how would I win a case like that? Because I spoke those words. There's no way to disprove I didn't speak those words.
Well,
If I could offer a suggestion, I don't know if you got any books in your Mighty Castle Lucifer, but maybe we go to studying and see how to properly conduct a devil case and see how we prepare the trial correctly.
They're gonna tell you the same. It's probably gonna tell you. Yeah, it's probably gonna tell you too. Like the intent of a deal is what's important. The intent of an action is what's important. So I'd be probably being tried by the intent of the action, right? But the issue is I'm being tried but for an intent, but there's no way to disprove the intent. I am guilty.
Yeah, but we all know your intent wasn't for chaos down here, and actually you might be doing them a favor by, it was their choice to
run ignorance, take a plea deal. That's probably not the best case here.
I'm just saying, I know you, and I know that wasn't. I'm fairly
wasn't
certain
my
that
intent.
wasn't your intent. Yeah.
the way I look at it, you did not seem to intentionally want chaos to ensue. But from what I heard, you were chaotically enticing your comrade to speak to one of the most dangerous individuals in the Hells.
I mean, I was just pushing his desires that he was not trying to pursue.
What was the intent behind that? You were possessed.
I feel like you don't know unless you try, you know?
Well, and again, isn't one of his tenets before was to like, and forgive me if I get this wrong, because I'll be honest, my attention span ain't that big. Yeah, like, to question things or to like.
So doubt
So
in all faith. But I don't know what the other tenets are. I don't think Joey ever sent those to me.
He is not known for wanting his tenants to be pushed towards him, which is a folly of himself. It is one of his grandest flaws, for all of his preaching of corruption and sowing doubt. You should never direct it towards him, because he's a fucking coward.
Yeah, that sounds mighty hypocritical.
It
yeah,
is.
I have it written right here. It's sow doubt in all faith, because without doubt we would have no need for devils.
yeah, so your intention wasn't that, but it's good, and thank you for letting us know that about him and his flaw on that, not directing it toward him. And you got anything to eat?
I believe I have some papaya.
Last I heard, papaya is not good for people to eat together.
It is when you put some Cajun seasoning on it.
Well, we can try that as long as we don't have any dispute among us. And I promise to.
And he'll ask one of his guards to go gather some food for you guys. Now,
That was my main reason why I joined the Asmodeus. Like, that was the main tenant that I joined with. That's why my job is to collect favors and question laws in Spalding.
do you
So I
believe
guess you
he
can
is,
use that.
Do you believe he is beyond a doubt?
Me doubting my own religion?
No. Asmodeus. Is he beyond doubt, as he exudes himself to be?
I don't know. If he's as prideful as I know I am, and if not more, his whole thing is different kinds of yeah, I don't know. Probably.
You must
You have
need...
to-
If you believe he is beyond a doubt, then your actions were chaotic in nature, to change the state of which one is meant to be. If he is beyond a doubt, for any type of corruption against his own tenants, then what you did was pure chaos. That will not be adhered to. However, if you can prove that there is a reasonable amount of doubt that he should be treated with, that would ensue a lot more chaos within the Hells, but would also prove your innocence in this would-be execution.
Which means I'd come to hell, and I wouldn't be me anymore.
So can you reasonably say that he deserves doubt about his purity towards his own objectives?
Yes, if he preaches to doubt other faiths, and we can't doubt his own faith, that's a folly in itself, like you said.
That is a play on words. That is not proof. You need proof. You will never beat him in a play on words. I assure you of that. You need definitive proof that he is deserving of doubt.
How do you prove the ruler of hell is a doubtful ruler?
Find a flaw.
And a failure.
I mean,
The flaw would be Lilith, wouldn't it?
A flaw,
Yeah.
a failure. Ones that can speak against it.
okay. Fine. Because that was my first thought. His biggest
What?
flaw is the fact that Lilith is still around. He was unable to destroy or defeat her, so he just silenced her.
Well, Cornwallis, you're up to bat. Go get Lilith.
Time to go hunt a devil.
Isn't the fact that he didn't destroy Leviticus also kind of in the same thing? That all he managed to do is imprison him, but he still gets out of his... He still has influence inside of his own prison?
If you can prove that.
Does Leviticus have a cult?
Levistus.
I mean, if there's Levistus.
Leviticus is a chapter
Leviticus
in a
is
Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
Sorry,
all
I
very
apologize.
similar biblical devils. It's
Yeah, if he has a cleric, right, that means that they're gaining divine magic from him. So, I mean, if you can find a cleric of Levistus.
that may be able to sway some within his court chambers. But keep in mind, those that he keeps closest to him, though they are the most ambitious, they're also the most fearful. That is the fine line that my father keeps within his company. Ambitious, but afraid.
Well, I do think that what you did was help point out those that are loyal. Just going from a different tactic here, I'm just pointing out that those that are loyal remain loyal, those that aren't show themselves in chaos.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not naive. Asmodeus isn't naive enough to not know that devils are always plotters. Like, we're all plotters. We all have aspirations, and aspirations have no bounds. So, I mean, he has to know that, like, people have aspirations to overthrow him, right? They just don't openly speak of it.
Words have power.
Exactly.
Your thoughts can be whatever you want them to be, but words are what's dangerous. Go ahead, Genesis.
Reese, this is a super long shot, but is there, I know that you are fully within your mental capacity, but is there any possible way that you were influenced in any way to cause these actions? Do you think this was somebody else's idea, that maybe they put it into your head and you were kind of influenced to do this stuff?
I'm sorry, I was drunk.
No. Unfortunately, I was
A weapon, a
100%.
curse, anything?
He knew what he was
100%
doing.
there. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah,
it
Reese is
wasn't
like,
my
I knew
first
what I
try.
said.
I know what I said. My aspirations have no bounds, right? I spoke my aspirations out loud.
Alright.
And I think that's what he was getting at, is the thoughts are okay. The speaking of the words. That's
That
what
was
we're
my.
doing.
I know, I was just trying.
Yeah, that was my mistake. Was the aspirations were spoken, and
So, I mean, so just so I got things clear, to win this case, we need to prove that there is reason to doubt Asmodeus's teachings.
Yes, of course.
So we need the proof of that.
Yes.
Well,
probably find out what his other tenants are.
right. Or, I mean, kind of, if you are found guilty in this trial, wouldn't that be the proof in itself, then? That there is reason to doubt?
One lonesome insect can be squished. Right. It just means that someone spoke out of tunes and they're no better than demons. That's how I would say it if I was him.
Hot damn. Quick question. You said this was Cajun seasoning?
That is correct.
It's good.
It's quite delicious. The secret is you put a little sprinkling of sugar and mix that in with the Cajun so it adheres to the papaya and draws
That's
out
what it
the
is.
sweetness.
Oh man, this is yeah. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's good.
I wonder if we can bring up the fact that Avernus is suffering on souls or something like that.
What were you about to say, Genesis?
I was just gonna say, hey, monkey, can I get in on that?
Yeah, here and now.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, we're eating together, having some papaya. Now, I am sharing my papaya with you, and I hope you don't ever forget this moment that we're having.
I will not. I will treasure this always. Be forever etched in my heart.
Am I missing a reference or something about sharing papaya?
There was something in chat
I have
earlier.
no idea.
There was something. Where was it?
Oh, we ate papaya together. Yeah, I said that after.
Yeah.
I have no reason to trust you with Reese and Genesis. Was just like, we went shopping together.
Wait, you guys went shopping together, then you're like, oh, we had papaya together, so I'm just carrying it
yeah,
forward.
yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
okay,
what
yeah,
sparked that. I just thought of papaya.
When people are testifying in the courtroom, right, and they're called up as a witness, right, can they lie on the stand, or is there something magic about the courts of Nithis that stops lying?
You are capable of attempting the atrocity of lying on the stand. However, my birthright to my father is this uncanny and unparalleled ability to detect a lie or deception. He has that as well. I know it is possible to lie to him. It is just improbable for that to be successful.
So calling a Baron Pote to the stand and having him repeat the Avernus atrocity and bringing up that he went to a divine source opposed to Asmodeus might be a way to go.
Quite possibly. If you can guarantee the retrieval of the Baron.
There's no, like, Inferno subpoenas?
You try going through the legal system. See how many excuses he has to not appear.
I mean, he would have to appear. The thing was done in his building.
Devils are deceitful creatures. All he would simply have to do was to be attacked by something else, have a pressing battle that would occur on the fields of Avernus. Some reason that he would have to ignore that request. You can take the proper channels of politics, but may I suggest a different approach?
Kidnapping.
I wouldn't
The
refer to
devil
him as a
napping.
kid. Yeah.
Devil napping.
Yeah. Go there, fuck his shit up, take him, imprison him, and then force him to be there on the stands.
I vote yes for kidnapping a Baron of Hell.
I think it would be amazing.
If nothing else, we can intimidate him. I could
Devil
literally
napping.
remove him from existence.
We have a locket that imprisons anything in there, right? That locket, is there a way to break out that locket that Cat has?
Not that any of you have been able to figure out.
I was in the locket, but I don't know how it works. That was the one I was in, right? I think so at the party. Blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah. I was afraid to go into.
So if we stick him in there, we have to go back to Spalding then for me to get that locket from Cat. I think that would be a good idea though. Like just put him inside the locket. He's imprisoned. He's not going anywhere.
Keep in mind, the moment you show any hostility to another individual of hell, the safety request given on to you, they will be lifted.
That makes sense.
Meaning
Preston.
the protection that you're providing us.
Yeah.
No. I can protect you so long as you're on my plane, and I will be there the day of your hearing to protect you as well. But I may not, unless invited by my mother, be allowed on the first layer of hell.
He's talking about the 10 days of free roam that Reese has due to the summons for the trial.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we above the table, what we'd want to do is do everything we need to do, then hit kidnap right like the day before or the day of.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, and as for my father's other tenets, assert dominance and power over others. Show your strength of will in the image of your Lord. Repay cruelty done unto you with further evil. If others show you kindness, exploit it. And as you ascend to power, do not pity or show mercy to those you climb over to get there. The weak do not warrant your compassion. Compassion itself is a weakness.
Well, I'm glad you shed that stuff.
If you haven't realized, I am somewhat of an antithesis to his.
I guess Glenn will look at Reese for the first time and say, wait, these are the tenets of your church?
Yeah. What do you
Quite
think from the way I am?
That's really selfish, man.
And then there's
Yeah.
the one that you like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my tenant, that's the thing. I never went full into the clerichood, right? So I joined under that specific tenant, the, question all faith without, sow doubt and all faith. Without doubt, there would be no need for devils, right? It's kind of the reason why I do what I do.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like they lured you in with that, and then I gotcha.
I think I've represented this faith pretty well when I was under them. Actually, looking at their tenants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
J-
Now it's-
Next.
Your
I'm
biggest...
sorry, what Genesis?
I was just gonna say, Lucifon, I might need a little advice on how to disregard people who are kind to me. I don't know how to do those things that you
Oh.
just said.
Those are not my things. Those are Asmodeus's things.
Oh,
It's what he used to believe, what Reese used to believe, and that's why we're glad he no longer is following that path.
sorry, out of character. I went to the bathroom, so I don't know what's going on.
You're
right
fine,
now.
yeah. He was going over Asmodeus's tenets since the cleric previously known as the cleric of Asmodeus, did not know all of the tenets.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
I
he's
thought
just
he was
clarifying,
telling us...
yeah, this is the shit you've been doing.
Oh, I thought he was telling us what we need to do now, and I'm like, oh, I can't do those things. I'm not like that.
Yeah, you want to do the opposite.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'm fine. Never mind.
I
Disregard.
will say, you should always repay cruelty done unto you with further evil.
In above the table recap, this is why Glenn and Monkey are the kindest people on the party.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're actually the
It's
good
not
guys.
like
Glenn
we
and
have
I are
much
the good guys, by the
competition.
way.
Yeah. We're the fucking monster before all
Just
this.
ignore my appearance of dead skeletal thingies, alright? I'm actually really nice.
It's like before I lost Asmodeus, oh my god, I was a fucking monster. I was a menace.
As opposed to now.
I'm still a menace, but not a monster, I think. We'll see. Well, I guess I have wings. I am a monster.
Personally, I
Yeah.
prefer to punish those that would defile laws, lie, and deceive, force them into submission, or break their spirit so they cannot commit that again.
I think he's looking at you, Reese.
What do you think of this papaya, the Genesis? Isn't this really good?
This is
Like
great
spice?
papaya. I love this papaya. The seasoning is so good.
Just like staring at these tenants like, how do we disprove these tenants are wrong?
I'm gonna go back to mute.
No,
No,
it's
you're
fine.
good.
You're good.
Do you
got
need to
monkey
prove
mind.
they're wrong, or do you need to prove that he doesn't always stick to them?
That. Yes, the second one. I think that's the way to go.
The laws are a precise endeavor.
Yeah, so like literally Baron Pult did the opposite of literally his first tenant. He went to a divine source opposed to their lord for help.
No. So we're gonna go with the idea of what Lucifer said. We're gonna go in there and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah. So Baron Pult would be our way to disprove the first tenant and show that like his own people are questioning him. I mean, I would say also we can bring up Dis. Like literally we killed 2 of the generals.
Yeah, that's kind of in sowing the realm with more chaos. Removing 2 generals from one layer of the hells is incredibly dangerous, as I'm sure you know. That layer is significantly weaker, which throws off the perfectly balanced diet that he feasts upon. As such, I had the responsibility of lending one of my generals to that layer, under the express promise that I would not try to steal the power of that layer for 1,000 years.
But like, Infinitus was trying to ascend to a greater god, though.
Do you have proof of this?
We have that one book that we got from the priest that was transformed when he was doing the plagues. For the life of me, I don't remember his name. I have to look at my old notes. But literally, that priest guy had like a book with him in the windmill that basically said it was all for Infinitus. That's how we tracked it.
Well,
not in the fucking summoning circle.
You gather your proof, you articulate and prepare your statement. Then, if all is done and well, we should be able to get you off scot-free with the, well, punishments of what you did. And who knows, if all things go very well, maybe Asmodeus loses enough faith within his mortals and devils that I can finally take his fucking throne.
Question for devil court cases and such. Is there like a dress code that we have to follow? I don't really do well in suits.
I'd recommend the speaker dress finely.
I dress perfectly all the time.
Well then, you all have your mission. And I think this is where we call the session this week, everybody.
Oh, can I do one thing as we're walking off real quick?
Yes, yeah, get the rest of it.
All right, perfect. Now I'm gonna pull Glenn aside and, hey, you know, I kind of not real good at always focusing and stuff like that, but this has been real good today, and I'm a little confused about something. Why does he need? And this is just Glenn and I. Why does Reese need to butter the souls near him?
You know,
butter?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Butter.
I mean, I think it's more of like kind of like the redemption phase, right? He's gotta, and it's something that like he might not be used to doing. So it's a build of character, right?
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure because I just completely heard that wrong, and I was getting a little nervous in there. The pie was good though.
I would like to think that like throughout the times that Glenn and Monkey have been talking, like he is able to pick up on exactly what Monkey means when he's saying like these weird like words in reference. And he's just like,
Yeah.
Clears it up for him.
All right, good. All right, good. I'm just making sure
Monkey
because these devils and stuff like that. Sometimes I get a little nervous, but okay, good, awesome. We'll definitely help Reese out.
And all the while that you guys are having this conversation, I am asleep with papaya all over me because I am in a food coma now. Also.
Anyways, with that being the scene, we'll come back next week where you can take some time to do some other preparations if you want, but we might just be going devil napping to fight and kidnap your third general of the 9 Hells.
We've been on a roll with these.
Thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.